5 a.m. in Ottawa and 2 p.m. in Islamabad. This is Press TV's World News. Canada's government is coming under fire from rights groups for failing to respond to a recent report on systematic discrimination against Aboriginal inmates in federal jails. A few days ago, prison watchdog Howard Sapres reported that Canadian prison officials do not take care of Indigenous inmates properly. He also said that the number of Aboriginals in federal prisons is increasing at an alarming rate. And now Sapres says that the Correctional Service of Canada has been dismissive in its reaction to the report. Human Rights Watch has also slammed Ottawa's inaction in responding to its report on alleged rape and abuse of Aboriginal women by police. The government has recently been under growing pressure from rights groups for violating the rights of the Native population. Well, to discuss that a bit further, we're now joined by Joshua Blakeney, Press TV's correspondent, who's joining us now via Skype from Calgary. Now, Joshua, exactly how did the government respond to this?
Well, Howard Sapres, who's the correctional investigator of Canada, used the phrase dismissive. Now, this is an individual who's charged to operate a watchdog to oversee the correctional services in Canada, the prison system, and he has deduced that Aboriginal peoples are overrepresented. That has increased by 43% in the last 5 years, that the Indigenous peoples of Canada are not being treated in an equal way. Indeed, a recent study also added to this by a former Supreme Court justice named Yakabuchi, who said that Aboriginals are being underrepresented on juries in Canada. And so I think that there's an acknowledgement by people who are fair-minded in this country that Aboriginal peoples are getting a rough deal when it comes to the prison system. And the Harper government doesn't seem to be interested. Of course, Press TV viewers will remember that Human Rights Watch just in February issued a damning report of the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which included allegations that by Aboriginal women that police had abused and raped them. And the Harper government was equally dismissive. Now, this is the same government which is incessantly telling Canadians that we don't need the United Nations, we don't need supranational human rights organizations scrutinizing Canada's internal affairs, because in their view, Canada is a democracy with the necessary checks and balances, and therefore Canada can take care of cleaning up its own backyard. But we see in practice, this is a domestic Canadian entity created by the government of Canada to scrutinize the prison system, that when we have a domestic watchdog issuing an urgent damning report, he didn't have to issue this report. This is an urgent report, Sapres is stressing, that the Canadian government is not doing anything to respond.
All right, Joshua, thanks a lot for those. Joshua Blakeney, Press TV's correspondent, speaking to us live from Calgary. Afghan President Hamid Karzai lashes out at the U.S. double standards after announcing that Washington is holding